Today I'm riding the 2018 Super Duke. It's got some nice parts in here. We got a Yoshimura Alpha pipe in here. Brembo's Dilemma brakes. 195 I was told, the rear tire. And aside from that, it doesn't have a tune or anything like that, but I've been looking forward to riding the Super Duke for a very long time, only because this bike is like a true monster. I've ridden the H2R, I believe. I think that's what it was called. That was an awesome bike with a supercharger. That was really nuts. And then I rode the Street Fighter V4S multiple times. And one bike that was missing from the Hyper Nakeds was the KTM Super Duke. And I'm really happy to be riding it for the first time. Thanks to Steve for allowing me to ride his bike. Steve is going to be riding my Street Triple RS today. And it's going to be a fun time. Join us for the ride. Let's go. First time throwing a leg over a KTM 1290 Duke. Wow. As always, these bikes feel like gigantic supermotos. Hey Steve, where's the key? Where's the key?
One push here.
But where's the key?
There, oh.
I need the key.
My bad, dude. Put this in your pocket.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, you might need that.
I just might. Maybe.
Man, I'm not used to riding with, you know, having people ride my bike.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a new thing.
I get it. I get it. I don't know these roads too well, so I'm going to be following Steve. It'll be nice to hear my bike from the back. So Steve is telling me that this bike likes to be low in the rev range because that's where all the power is. And holy shit, he's not lying. Wow. You guys have no idea how long I've been waiting to ride the Super Duke. I was about to say super bike, but I guess you can call it a super bike. It's got a quick up and down shifter, auto blipper as you can imagine. All these KTM bikes, the Super Duke, the 890 Duke, they all have that supermoto feel and supermoto sounding engine, except it's on steroids, obviously. The same M50 brake calipers that are in my Street Triple are in this bike, so it's nice and confidence inspiring knowing that they have good brakes. As far as the horsepower is concerned, it's about 175 if I'm not wrong, because that's what Steve was telling me. Initially, before I met Steve, he was telling me that he has a Super Duke, but honestly I didn't know what the year was, so I couldn't do any research. But if I am wrong, I'll put a caption on the screen. Initial reactions from riding this bike, it feels very much like an 890 Duke, but it's been a long time I haven't ridden the 890 Duke, so I kind of forgot what the power of that feels like. Power on top is a little bit dead. I wonder what it's like for the newest KTM. It likes to live in the lower rev ranges. That's where all the fun is. But as far as handling is concerned, very nice. He told me that it was tuned by Dave Moss, so I think he's got his money's worth. But I think if you tune this bike to my weight, it'll flick a little bit better. But we'll find out once we get to the nice twisty sections. Yeah, baby. Nice. How do you like the sound?
I like the sound a lot. How do you like the pull?
It's awesome, man. Steve is a fan of the channel. He's been watching for a long time. And Steve contacted me that he's got a bunch of bikes, one of them being the Super Duke, and then he's got a Street Fighter, and I think he's got a couple of other bikes. So he was like, let's hang out this weekend, you can ride my Super Duke. And I was like, hell yeah, Steve, let's go. Considering I've never ridden this bike before, I don't regret my decision. And thank you so much, Steve, for allowing me to ride your bike. I hope you enjoy my Street Triple. If you're sitting at home right now and you have a Ducati Panigale V4S, one of the newer models, anywhere from 2020 up and above, I'd like to review it on the channel and then compare it to my RSV4. And if you're interested, I'll let you ride my RSV4 as well, just so you can get a quick comparison as well. So contact me over Instagram and let's make this happen. Because if you're an OG of the channel, you know that I've ridden almost all the super bikes. The only thing that was missing was my RSV4. Now I have that. But now the other thing that's missing is a comparison of the RSV4 along with the Panigale V4S. I think that'll be a nice showdown. Honestly, for a 1290, I was expecting a little bit more grunt than this. Most of the grunt is, I would say, before 5,000 RPM. I would say, like, let me change that. Let me modify that a bit. Most of the grunt is before 7,000 to 8,000 RPM. And then once you get past 7,000 to 8,000 RPM, it's a little bit flat. Steve told me that it doesn't have a tune, but overall I think it's an awesome bike, and I think once you tune it, this thing just wakes up. I don't think you need to move past second or third gear on this thing. Wow, these roads are amazing. Crap. Alright, I'm starting to get more confident with this bike. The quick shifter is nice and smooth compared to the 890. The 890 is not smooth at all, and I thought it was down to the twin-cylinder engine. Well, this also has a twin-cylinder engine, but it's very smooth. It's not clunky at all, and that's saying a lot. I thought initially that the more torque you have, the less cylinders, the more clunky the quick shifter is going to be, but not in this case, because we got 1290, we got gobs and gobs of torque, and it's still a twin cylinder. Well, it's not as smooth as my triple or as my V4, but for a twin cylinder, it's very smooth. And on a bike like this, it's a deal breaker if it isn't. That was one of my main complaints with the 890 Duke. He likes my bike. You like it?
I love it. Awesome. I like that you can bring it stuff, get into it. That's fucking awesome.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I like it.
But this low in the RPMs is what it likes, like you said. Yeah, he loves my bike. How could you not? Find me someone that does not like the Street Triple RS. Unless, like I said in my last video, if you have some kind of mental disorder, that's the only reason why you would not like the Street Triple RS. And this is coming from a guy who's got leader bikes. Think about it. Overall, I think this bike is a lot of fun. In terms of the power, at 175, to me it feels a bit tame. And I'm not sure if it's because of the power to weight ratio. I'm not sure if it needs a tune. Power-wise, if you're coming from leader bikes like, well, I just got a RSV4, there's nothing compared to that right now. But that being said, even compared to my Street Triple RS, I think the power similarities are kind of similar, even though that bike is only 400 pounds. I'm going to assume this bike is about 450, so it's got about 50 pounds of extra weight on it. Does it make that much of a difference? Maybe, yes. I think it does. I'm not saying it doesn't have any power. Don't flame me down in the comment section. I'm just being honest, being candid, based on my experience with other bikes of the same caliber, the same or similar horsepower to other motorcycles, ranging anywhere between the 70 to 180 range. With that being said, it's a KTM. They have more of the power down low in the RPM ranges, and in the top end, that's not where this bike really shines. This bike really shines in the low end. It's a wheelie monster. I think it's a wheelie monster, but I think it also has a 6-axis IMU. Not really sure about that. It's something that I'm gonna have to do some research on. Again, I'll put a caption on the screen if I'm wrong. But as far as the TFT dash is concerned, it's nice and clear, legible, easy to read. Tells you how much gas you have left, which is great. Gear indicator is nice and easy to read. The screen keeps going light and dark. As soon as I pass some shade, the screen does change all the time, which is a bit wonky. But besides that, the Yoshimura exhaust is just wonderful. It still has the servo plug, so it's not like absolutely wild and crazy, like you need to put earplugs on in order to ride this bike. Comfort-wise, it does have the KTM Power Sport seat. Super comfortable. I think I can ride this bike for a long period of time without having to get super tired, which is great. Overall, I think it's a great experience riding this bike. Something that I've been looking forward to for a long time, and finally happy to be doing it. Alright, let's see what the verdict is.
What do you think?
I think it's great, man.
I love that thing, dude.
Yeah?
I think I want to buy one. I know what you're saying. That's the first, like, I've never driven a middleweight before.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you can ring it, like you can really get after it, you know?
Yeah, what, you remember that video that you commented?
Yeah.
Now do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But I still like my big bikes, but I see your point.
Now you see my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use it against me in a court of law.
Well, I'm glad that one person at least sees the light as I did. Alright guys, that's been my first impression ride of the KTM 1290 Duke. Super Duke, I should say. But yeah, it's a fantastic bike. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's very compact. It's got the supermoto feel, as I mentioned before. Overall, a fantastic bike. Definitely don't regret riding it. It's got this mean presence to it. You can tell this thing looks absolutely fast. The next video I release of this motorcycle is going to be a pure sound video where we're going to take it up into the twisties right now. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao for now.